Record. Hi, my name is Paige Nato, and I am going to be showing you how shortening reacts to different ingredients in making chocolate chip cookies. The real aspect of this video is to show you how shortening is a little bit different than butter and how it really makes cookies what they are. So, for a normal chocolate chip cookie recipe, you need to measure all the ingredients out. For ease of convenience in this video, I have went ahead and put in a large bowl flour, baking soda, and salt. And then, in a little smaller of a bowl, I have went ahead and added the brown sugar and the milk and the vanilla. So, what you're ideally going to do is, I've also measured out the shortening. This is Crisco shortening. Shortening is a little bit different than butter. Shortening originally was considered lard. That was a synonymous name for it. As in recent years, people have been using shortening for hydrogenated oil. It's basically the same thing. They're still 100% fat, just different substances. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pretty spatula and we're going to add the shortening into the batch of wet ingredients. This is the brown sugar, milk, and vanilla. So then you're going to take this and you're going to put this in your sink to make sure you need to get all the dirty dishes out of the way. So you're going to do that. You're going to take your mixer. Any mixer works. You can even use your hands. It takes a little longer. And you're going to turn it on medium, and you're going to mix together all the ingredients. Now, the difference between shortening and butter is shortening is 100% fat. Butter or margarine or anything along those lines are only about 80%. I think they're required to have at least 80%. That's just the fact that I was recall from my head. But shortening is still 100%. So it is just all of the fat combining with all the dry ingredients to really make a synonymous substance. Now, this process shouldn't take very long, and you can hear it breaking up all the shortening and everything. So this is it's very important to do this first because it allows the butter to react with the shortening to react with the brown sugar and the milk. Now, if you look at this, it looks very similar to cornmeal. That's because in shortening, there's two types of ways in which you can shorten the dough. You can do a short dough, which is the cornmeal substance, and that's most commonly found in like cookies, sometimes cakes, just on a variant of ingredients. When you're using long dough, it's going to be actually like pea-sized flakes, and that creates a pie-like crust. And since you want your cookies to be moist and airy, you don't want to do that because you want it to be you don't want to do long because then it'd be flaky and it wouldn't be that great. So now you're going to take your egg and you're going to crack it very carefully. You cannot get any shell in there. It's just a very big no-no. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to bring it to my trash can right over here. So you're going to throw it away and you're going to take your mixer again. Doesn't matter if there's things on it because the same dough with it. But it should be clean from the beginning, make that known. Okay, so you're on medium, you're going to mix it. Now this is going to create more of a liquid substance because, you're adding more of a liquid-like substance or a flocculate, but that's another method. So, you're going to mix this together really well, just kind of let the egg mix with the shortening, brown sugar, milk, and vanilla. So, it should be even quicker of a process in the beginning, only because most of the ingredients are already mixed, so it's really just adding the egg. So, this is what the dough looks like now. It's very liquidy. It looks very similar to cornmeal. Not crazy appetizing, but it'll get there. So, then what you're going to do is you're going to take your spatula that you had earlier, and you're going to combine this cornmeal-like substance with the dry ingredients. It's a very simple process. This is going to make it more of a sticky substance, not so liquidy, and it's going to help it really create the famous cookie dough. Cookie dough is going to be sticky rather than how dough is kind of held together very well, and I'm trying to scrape the edges, I'm sorry, and dough is really held together. You can pick it up and knead it. You really can't do that with cookie dough, and that's partially because of the shortening. Because of all the fat, it's not as much of a solid as, you know, the bread dough would be. So you're just going to take these two, both of these, put them right in the sink. And you're going to retrieve the dishes later, and you're going to take this. It looks super pretty. And you're just going to mix it together. And, you know, this is going to be a little bit longer of a process only because it's, you know, a lot more, like, a lot more flour and salt and baking soda than if it was just liquid and brown sugar. But still, it comes together. I will let you see it coming together. See, it looks looking like cookie dough. And, you know, shortening, there's butter can be substituted as synonymous for shortening, but for this case scenario, I decided to do shortening just so you can really see how the fat reacts to the different elements of cookies. And because cookies are like a very well-known recipe, just about everyone can make them, but most people don't know the science behind them. Most people don't know that if you substitute more butter for something else, it'll completely change the recipe and make it a completely different recipe. So now, we're just going to make sure all the dough is off of this. Go a little higher, get all the dough off. There you go. Okay. So, now, what we're going to do is I went ahead and made another one just to make sure you can really get a good look at what a cookie dough is going to look like. See how it looks very sticky. It doesn't look like bread dough. You couldn't really just take it out and play with it and knead it. This is why cookies are as moist and airy as they are, and it's also why their air holes, if you really look at them, are a lot smaller than the other ones. So, if you look at this, you know, it's very obvious that the shortening has played a very large role in the making of cookies, which is to be expected. So, now all you have to do is add the chocolate chips and cook it, and it'll be delicious as always. Alright, thanks so much. Bye.